Hi everyone, welcome back to the Get a Brew channel. So today I want to talk about the ICBI. So I'm in our brewery here at Get a Brew. I've been touring members recently and we're going to feature them throughout the video. But before we jump into that, I want to take a moment to appeal to you to support independent local breweries to you. So ICBI represents Irish craft beer and the independent Irish craft brewers in Ireland. We want to encourage the breweries locally here to join. It's a collective voice that is lobbying specifically for our industry. This is a very difficult time for independent craft brewers and we would urge you to help where possible. So we've provided assistance with sponsorship. We've spent some time visiting some of the breweries and we're going to feature them today in this short video. What's the advantages to the brewers for joining?
Well, the ICBI works as a lobbying group towards government and policy as to how government policy can affect and improve the life of or the business of a small brewer. The opportunity to sell beer is quite a challenge in Ireland. Independent brewers have a number of unique challenges that they face, particularly in the Irish economy, with high levels of duty. Yeah. So we work with bodies like the LBA, VFI, to try and encourage that. We also work with, we work to lobby with the central government when legislation that might affect small brewers is being discussed. To put forward the breweries, small independent brewers' perspective and their opinion and how this might be affected, how it might affect ourselves in terms of our business. We also work as a means of promoting craft beer to the wider public as to the number of brewers that are around, the styles of beer that they're making, the quality of beer that they're making, and just try and encourage people to purchase an independent brewer's beer.
And then the logo on the bottle or the can?
Well, this is what we adopted a few years ago. So if you buy that, you know that you're buying a local product produced in Ireland by an independent brewer.
I guess the next stage is to try and, we had chatted about this, put forward training days, put forward technical help. That's probably why I'm stepping in going, I see great assistance. So it's not just a lobbying group, there's other things.
It also works as a means for brewers of varying different levels of experience and size to discuss the industry and to discuss maybe raw material supply. People might be wondering where they can get something from. Yeah. So then other members will point to people such as yourselves or whoever, and that might be for anything from glass bottles, it might be malt, it might be finings, water treatment, gas supply, any number of ideas or questions that people might have. They can come to the group and we can answer that and point them in the right direction. There's a lot of variation in people's experience within the membership. Some are very experienced brewers with many years and training of how to make beer. Yeah. And there are obviously a lot of other members who are much smaller, who are lacking a lot of that technical skill. Yeah. And so it's to try and give a means by which they can either pick that up from members just through conversation, but it's also trying to organise meetings, seminars, courses where people might be able to take part in that.
From my point of view, the benefit for ICBI is that it's a collective voice. There is no independent lobby group other than them that can represent independent craft brewers and lobby to government, and that includes both in the north and in the south here in Ireland. So we're wanting brewers to join to give weight to the arguments that they're putting forward. They do have quite a number of breweries. You can check them out on their website that's already joined, but we'd encourage those of you that haven't joined to please consider doing it and getting behind this movement. Look, Liam, thanks for your time today.
No, not at all. The ICBI is a really nice little tight-knit group of brewers that understand what it is to be in this business, because sometimes it's tricky. I've just always been a fan of a rising tide is going to help every boat that's in that water, and I think that remains to be the case. Personally, I think it's great for little things like being able to reach out to other brewers and ask for something you might be short of or some information that you don't have. Yeah. Granted, every brewer is very good like that. You'll never really ask a brewer a question and they'll say no. There's a lot of it is probably a form of therapy, but it's still good like that as well. Yeah. And then also other things that they've been really proactive in organising even Indie Beer Week, which obviously suffered because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
They moved that virtually, and people could still, you know, ask questions of their local brewer and sample their beers. And then Beer of the Year as well, I think is fast becoming a real staple of the Irish beer scene. So we have our samples. We're going to drink them tomorrow night, myself and Roger.
Okay.
And we'll score like that. But it's also great to be involved in that and just participate even. You know, we have a beer in it, we won't win because there's about 7 Imperial Stouts in there.
Yeah.
But it's good to be a part of something bigger than you are, you know, I think. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, look, if you want our feedback, and we'll try the beer down and we'll let them know just before we go.
Gladly provide the feedback.
Yeah. Like the brewers that are watching in Ireland, you know, why there's a benefit to joining.
Well, in a nutshell, I mean, the ICBI is a industry group, and primarily what we do is we make submissions to government. You know, I suppose you could say we're a lobby group on things like the excise relief that small brewers qualify for. Every year pre-budget we make a submission to maintain that. There are forces at work out there that would love to see that relief taken away from us, and I think if we don't submit it and keep it in the government's mind every year when budget time comes around, it's one of those things that could just disappear overnight without any warning, and it would probably make most of the small independent breweries in the country non-viable virtually overnight. And also, at the moment, the Justice Department, I think the window is just closed, but they were taking submissions for a review of licensing laws. So as a body, the ICBI, we put in our thoughts on how licensing laws in Ireland could be reformed for the benefit of the industry. And every member of the ICBI is given an opportunity to make a submission to that end. And obviously when we contact members, we contact the mailing list that we have. So breweries that aren't members, unfortunately, we can't communicate effectively with them. So I think it benefits the entire industry that as many breweries, independent breweries, as are in Ireland join the organisation, because ultimately a rising tide floats all boats. And whilst the industry's come forwards a lot, we have to still be cognizant of the fact that we're selling into third-party markets for the most part. Most of us don't have direct access to our consumers.
What benefit is there in it for you to be part of the group? You
Look at any lobby organisation is important in any industry. You know, I've been prominent in the IFA here in Monaghan, my father has been as well. Sometimes they can outgrow their importance, but look, the craft business, it's you know, it's still quite new. There's still an awful lot of work to be done out there.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of potential with the farm and with the brewery, you know, to do tours. And it'd be nice to take people in here and not be looking over your shoulder after 5 o'clock, that you could have people here 8, 9 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
Have a wee Cayley band here in the college, like what there used to be when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Drink a few beers and enjoy things, you know.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Look at the lobby group. They've done an amazing job so far in you know, getting to where we are, but there is a lot more work to be done.
What benefits are in that for other brewers to join, and what benefits have you enjoyed?
I think, I mean, for us, you can see the scale we're on. We're obviously not the biggest brewery in the world, so it's really important to be part of a network of other breweries, you know, in terms of knowledge sharing, in terms of if we need to find out something that someone else can help us with. And everyone's very good about sharing knowledge, sharing supplier details, things like that. So if you have a problem, put it out to the group and someone will come up with a solution for you. Obviously then in terms of things like lobbying and, you know, just trying to promote the Irish independence beer scene, because you know, I can do my little bit from here, everyone else does their own little bit, but actually when you have a central body doing that promotion for you, it's much more effective.
And the little logo on the beer label, it's on there for a reason. You know, it's to highlight to people it's independent beer, because there is some tips and tricks, maybe not a tip, but there's some tricks being pulled by Big Beer where they're maybe making a crafty label.
Yes, absolutely.
Putting it out.
To improve the industry, we all need to work together. But there's no point in alienate a potential customer with an imperfect glass of beer, because everybody will lose out in that sense, because we're trying to encourage people into this, drinking our products.
I know the price varies depending on your output.
That's right.
For joining, but it is a nominal fee.
There's certainly no profit made out of this. You know, obviously, the more money we have in the bank, the more we can resource our group. And there's a lot of things we would like to do, and it's important that the more members we have as part of us, the better our voice, the stronger our voice is. So when we're going and approaching governments, which we do from time to time on various issues, that when we go to these people, we can say we're representing a substantial number of independent brewers, that we're not just representing a very small niche section of the industry.
So look, we're trying to get you, the independent craft brewer behind the screen watching this, to join the ICBI. We've one member in Northern Ireland, so it'd be nice to see other members join. I know your focus obviously legally would be legislation.
Well, it's an all-island group, and we represent the brewers from the north as well as the Republic. Obviously our footprint isn't as great in the north, so our ability to assist in lobbying is very limited in there. We have been involved in discussions on licensing laws with the north about taproom legislation which was brought in, and looking at the government there was looking at the similar model in Ireland that's been brought in the Republic, and our reservations on that it's not wholly fit for purpose. So we have had some conversations on that subject, but it's also raising, as I said before, raising the profile of craft brewers. Members in the north do export into the Republic, so it's important that if the craft beer industry, if the independent brewing industry has a stronger presence, reputation here in the Republic, then brewers in the north will benefit from that.
Look, we think it's important. We've supported it the last couple of years. We're trying to encourage more people to join, because collectively, if we're working together as brewers within the island of Ireland, that our collective voice will have more strength than without it. So if someone's wanting to join up, what's the easiest way, and is there a cost involved for them?
Yeah, there is a cost involved. I can't say exactly what it is off the top of my head right now, because it is based on your production volume, but it's relatively affordable. In fact, I shouldn't say it's relatively affordable, it's very affordable. And the best way to contact is to go on the website, I suppose, icbi.ie, get in touch with the coordinator, Elizabeth, or you can get in touch with one of the directors, like myself, for example, Sam Black down at Black's Brewery, Adrian Heslin at West Kerry, James at Brew, or Peter Mosley at Porterhouse. Any one of us can direct you to membership. Additionally to lobbying activities and that kind of thing, we also organise a Beer of the Year competition, which is going on as we speak. We're looking at organising festivals, ICBI sponsored and organised festivals potentially, now that we're able to socialise and move around the country again. We've been in talks with insurance providers to see if we can get group insurance schemes that would cover breweries tailored specifically to the brewing industry. We are 100% a volunteer organisation, funded largely by membership fees and sponsorship from industry suppliers like Get Our Brewed. And the more members we have, the more ability, or the greater our ability is to bolster the industry and provide something directly back to our members.
The important thing there I take out of that is the events and the education and the desire to collectively improve the quality of Irish craft beer. So it's a community spirit. We have a lot of independent brewers who want to work together, and we'd like you to join us. We thank you for your support of the local breweries in your area. We would appeal you to continue to do that, and we will continue to support the ICBI with sponsorship and with videos of their customers. So look, if you want to get involved, check out the ICBI website. We'll pop the link in the comments below. You'll see it on the screen now. I'd encourage you to go and have a look, see what they're doing, and see what the brewers within the group are saying and why you should join. That's it from us today. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy brewing.